has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hey G, if you could be any inanimate object in the Star Wars universe, what would you be? Actually, let me switch this up a little bit. If you could have any droid model as a companion, what would it be?
Go with the BB unit.
A BB unit. Orange and white?
The black one.
BB9E?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I actually have a different choice. I have a hard time deciding between the two. You know that R2-D2 is in my top 5 Star Wars characters of all time. But that's too easy of a pick. Going with the astromech. So I'm going with either the basic entry-level gonk droid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you always have somewhere to put your trash, you know? Or
Don't,
things.
don't-
Yes, they supply. You can put trash in a gonk droid.
But I'm like saying they're rather slow.
That's all right.
That-
Or I'll get a mouse droid.
wow. What about that droid in Solo that you liked so much?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Look, you can't have everything we want, okay?
Hmm.
Sometimes in this life, you got to make choices.
So between the two, which one would it be more?
So on the market, I have a gonk droid or a mouse droid. I'm going with the gonk.
All right.
Going with the gonk. But this is episode 5 of the Fan Awakens podcast. I'm here. It's hosted by E and G once again. We're in this thing, ready to talk about some interesting topics. Some more. We had more news this week than I was completely aware of.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the biggest topics, not necessarily the most surprising things, but we did get it confirmed that Pedro Pascal is indeed the Mandalorian.
Oh. And how's that?
What do you mean? How's that?
Well, how did we? Because I was like, I knew he was.
Star Wars announced it.
I knew he was in it, but I don't. He's the.
He is the Mandalorian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it even bigger than I'd expected. Because I was like, I thought they were just gonna announce like who's a part of the production.
No, he's headlining the show.
So how do you feel about that?
I feel great, actually. I think Pedro Pascal's wonderful.
Mm.
Everything I've seen him in, even if I didn't love whatever it was, which I've loved most of the things I've seen Pedro Pascal do, loved him.
Mhm.
Loved him in Game of Thrones. I thought he was terrific in Kingsman: The Golden Circle. You remember him?
Yeah, I forget what was he doing in
He was the antagonist. Remember, he was part of the Statesman,
The Golden Circle. That's
the one with the whip, or with the lasso.
The first one is the Secret Service.
Yeah,
Oh, so the second
Kingsman
one.
2.
Oh yeah, he was the
Yeah,
one
the
with
guy with the lasso.
Yeah,
He was
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, I
Super
forgot about that.
charismatic, you know.
Mhm.
And he really, you can tell that Pedro Pascal's a guy that he didn't really get his break until later in his life. I think he's in his 40s, and I don't think he really got his break until Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
which was just a few years ago. And he's
Mhm.
been an actor his whole life, I believe. So this is really huge for him, and I'm like really excited to see a guy like Pedro Pascal, you know, to sort of broaden the horizons of headlining a Star Wars show like this, you know, with such a big production budget. We're getting 10 episodes, $10 million budget each. It's huge for for him. It's huge for the industry, and I think that this is it's great news. It's not surprising. We kind of already heard it in the rumors, but it's great.
Mhm. Well, now that I know that he's actually the one that's the Mandalorian himself.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see what he can do, because I forgot about the fact that he was in Kingsman, but from seeing him and his character in Game of Thrones, I really enjoyed it. And I don't know, I'm guessing spoiler for those who don't really have seen what has happened to him in Game of Thrones.
He died.
He died, but
What a surprise.
yeah, in an interesting way. but-
Gruesome.
yeah, gruesome would be a better word to use it. But yeah, I enjoyed I like the intensity that he brings. You can definitely tell he
He has a lot of range, is
Yeah.
what he has.
Yeah.
Because he can be intense, but he has great comedic timing.
Yeah.
And also he's a guy that definitely can carry a lot of heart, and I have zero doubt that he can carry a series on his own.
Mhm.
Not that he'll have to. We're gonna have great support in this show for sure. We're gonna have tons of, especially I think after season 1, we're gonna have actors flocking to try and get into this thing. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was announced that Gina Carano is also casted in The Mandalorian. If you don't know her, she plays she's in Deadpool as oh, what's her name? She's the muscle, you know, she's fighting Colossus in the end.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
But she's intense. I want to know if she's going to be an ally, is she going to be an antagonist? What exactly she's going to be. If you had to guess, what are you saying that Gina Carano is? Who is she, a good guy? Is she a bad guy? Is anyone really a good guy?
That's what I was about to say. But well, just going based off of the Deadpool movie, she played a really good villain there.
She
I
did.
mean, her going against Colossus, I was like, she was really convincing, really good.
I would love to see her as another Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see her. She just has that, because Mandalorians are so prideful and they're tough, and they're warriors. And I think that she could definitely embody that. Just judging from her in Deadpool, I think that that's something that she is almost tailor-made for. Although I won't slight her. I'm sure she can do a lot of things. But my guess right now, early prediction, is that she is also of the Mandalorian descent.
Mhm. And it's interesting to think that it'll be interesting to see who else comes into this project. Considering all the major directors and people that are behind this and the budget.
Yeah, one thing I think is almost a shoo-in. I bet you Bryce Dallas Howard is in it because she's directing an episode.
Yeah.
And if they got her to direct an episode, that means they don't just hand those things out,
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm assuming is that she's been part of the production for a while, perhaps as an actress, or as an actor, and maybe she saw something big and she had inspiration from it, pitched an idea, and they brought her in as a director. And so I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Bryce Dallas Howard is also in this, which I would really love.
Yeah. It just reminds me of me seeing her in that Black Mirror episode. I think it's called Nosedive.
Yeah.
She was really
interesting
good in that.
episode.
It was very interesting.
But you know what? I saw a film. It's a friend recommended it to me. It's on Netflix. I don't know if it's there anymore. The same exact concept basically came out 3 years earlier. It's pretty much all like a full Asian cast almost. Really good. Really good. I got to look up. I posted it on the website too. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, she was great in that episode. I really like her. I think she has a lot of potential she shows in all of her work. I mean, even though I'm not a huge fan of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I think she's good in it. She's shown that she can sort of handle these big roles,
Yeah.
And I mean, she's the daughter of Ron Howard, man, Uncle Ron. So I have full confidence in her. I hope she's casting it. Do you think that we're gonna see? Oh, here's another thing for The Mandalorian. Since we're getting some casting news coming out now, I think something that I would honestly be shocked if Sam Witwer did not get a role.
Oh, definitely.
But the thing is, he's been in the Star Wars family since The Force Unleashed, which was, when did that come out? 2005?
Oh.
2006?
PS2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
probably around there, yeah.
But and he's an encyclopedia of Star Wars knowledge. I consider myself a diehard Star Wars fan. That guy blows me out of the water,
Yeah.
And he's never gotten a live action role. He's just done voices and everything, which is shocking to me at this point.
Yeah.
But I know he's super tight with Filoni. Filoni's helping Favreau with this thing, and I know Filoni, I'm sure, mentioned him. So if I could see any person casted in this show, hands down, I would want to see Sam Witwer, because I think he's one of the biggest Star Wars fans on the planet, and he's an actor. He can act live action. Yes, he does a lot of voice, but he's talented. He has he looks like a movie star. I think it'd be perfect, and I think it would be huge for his career, and very well deserved.
If you were to guess, what do you think he would be doing?
I want to see him play a bad guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
What if they could retcon that? Man, give me Sam Witwer as Cad Bane.
Oh my
Give me Sam Witwer. Cad Bane's my boy. I've been advocating for him to be in the show forever. Bring him back and make Sam Witwer Cad Bane. We know he can pull off a plethora of voices, so I think that perspective is perfect. He's steep in the knowledge of Cad Bane because he's worked on the Clone Wars extensively. So I think that would be perfect. Actually,
he has to be in this. You mentioning the fact that he's tight with Filoni. It would be criminal if I just didn't see him anywhere in this.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be a voice. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be like a voice cameo, like he voices some random character in a holocron or something. I want him in the flesh.
Yeah, because I think like in was it Rebels? How much Darth Maul?
Yeah, Darth Maul's in Clone Wars and Rebels a lot.
Yeah.
And he voiced him in Solo.
Yeah, you did for that scene. So I was like, yeah, to see him in a live action.
It'd be a dream come true. If anyone doesn't know, in The Force Unleashed, he plays Starkiller. He is Starkiller. They mold the character after him.
Mm-hmm.
He voices him, acts as him. He voices Darth Maul. He's voiced so many characters.
Yeah.
He's great.
Even in the game, like, the intensity that he brings, you can tell just playing the game.
He saved some big plot holes in like some of the television shows they almost shot. Like he outwitted Dave Filoni as far as Star Wars goes.
Yeah.
So that's like that's my wish list. Sam Witwer in The Mandalorian. Time will tell.
Wonder, do you think he would ever direct?
Sam Witwer? I don't know. I don't think he's ever directed.
I know.
I would be interested to see him. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I just think that he probably sits in a room with Dave Filoni for an hour and they just kick out ideas and Dave writes a script,
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe I don't know if he has any interest in that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he did, I'd be pretty interested. But I wouldn't hold my breath because it's taken this long for Dave Filoni to get to be able to direct anything live action.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you then. On the topic of The Mandalorian still, if season 2 comes, I'm very sure we're going to get a second season at least. Who is the one person you would love to see direct an episode in season 2?
Season 2. Well, that would be tough.
Yep.
It's a tough question to throw out just on the spot.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, just to see. Because I still forget, like, who are some of the directors that are directing this season? I remember Taika Waititi's one of them.
Yeah, Taika Waititi, Bryce Dallas Howard, Dave Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa, among others. Dave Filoni, I mean, I'm sure they haven't said it. He's producing, wrote the entire thing, but I'm sure that Jon Favreau is going to direct.
Yeah.
Multiple episodes probably.
Who do you got? Who would
you know
like
who I got?
Who would it be?
My boy, J.J. Abrams.
Oh, here we go.
Just give him a TV episode. I want to see him play in that sandbox too.
Yeah, he's done Lost.
That's something I actually didn't have on the itinerary to talk about today, but we didn't get to talk about it last week because we didn't do a show. But you heard about that mega deal that J.J. Abrams is about to sign?
I heard about it. What was it again?
Dude, this thing's crazy.
What do we got?
They're thinking around the area of him getting paid $500 million.
For what?
For Bad Robot to partner exclusively with the studio. They say right now the front runners are Universal and Disney, of course. And I think Disney clearly is. I think they're definitely going to win this. He is fond of working with Bob Iger.
Yeah.
And his big thing is that the thing he is pushing for, that basically he's sort of, all the studios are courting him, He knows what he wants, and there's really only 2 studios that can give it to him. And those are Universal and Disney, because he wants TV, he wants movies, he wants video games, and a theme park deal.
A theme park deal?
Yes. Like, not to make a theme park, but he wants, he's pretty dead set from what I've read, that in his, whoever he signs with, he has to be able to play in the theme park game.
Oh, okay.
Which makes so much sense that it would be Disney.
Yeah.
One, because they have a plethora of parks, and they're opening Star Wars land.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
And it's already like, J.J. Abrams has all the bargaining power with, his recent success with, Bad Robot and Overlord,
Well, Overlord
in terms of
isn't making a lot of money.
Yeah, isn't making a lot of money, but
that, I wouldn't say Overlord they don't even know what that is. They see Star Wars Episode 7 making $2 billion.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they see Episode 9 probably going to make another $2 billion. And yeah, that's pretty much. And they see J.J. Abrams. He's one of the most prolific producers, I would say, of all time at this point. He has his hand in so many pots, and they usually come out pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think this is terrific. I really want to see J.J. Abrams sign with this because if he signs on to this, it's not all going to be Star Wars, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does episode 9, knocks it out of the park, and then with this streaming service, they say, hey, why don't you make a Star Wars show? I would love to see a J.J. Abrams produced Star Wars show.
I could say that, yeah.
Maybe even covering, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a page out of Marvel's book, how Kevin Feige's producing all these shows that sort of follow the characters that he's brought to us.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get, like, I don't know, a Poe Dameron series, hypothetically, or, something along those lines, a Phasma series, hypothetically, here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that happening. But yeah, hearing about that deal and his bargaining power, Disney, I think,
clearly,
they're still tying down things with Fox. I think that's already pretty much done.
Yeah,
and so they got money to spend.
Yeah, they got money to spend, and they have everything he needs.
Yeah, and
they have the toys he wants.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next topic though. This is a little one. It kind of surprised me. Not really surprised, but it intrigued me. Billie Lourde, of course, the daughter of the late Carrie Fisher, said that she called episode 9 magical after she ended her wrapped filming. She was filming on it for 3 weeks, which could be the same amount of screen time as she got in the last film, maybe more, maybe less. You never know. But my question for you is, do you think she will have an elevated role in the absence of Carrie Fisher as sort of a nod or a tribute kind of thing? Do you think that maybe, I wouldn't find it completely absurd that her character takes an elevated role in the Resistance, just as sort of like, one, because she's been a staple, really supporting character in these films, especially in episode 8. She had a couple lines and a couple bigger moments.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had even bigger moments in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if she took the Holdo role in episode 9, kind of.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? I'm excited to hear that she had a wonderful experience, first off. I'm sure it's very emotional to be on a Star Wars set without her mom.
Yeah.
But that shows me that, they've formed like a family. That's what it seems like from everyone I hear. And this is just, it's just positive thinking.
Yeah. I was wondering what her specific role was in the movie. Like, what is she like? What's her character? What does she do?
You remember?
Because I just remember, like, in the beginning, in the opening, but like, what is she? I know she's part of the Resistance, but is she anything like specific? I forget.
She works in the Resistance.
Okay, well, she works in the Resistance, but yeah, I would think she would have like a higher role. And
it's like a Resistance officer, basically.
Yeah, and considering how in low numbers the Resistance is.
Well, that's assuming, actually. We don't
Hmm.
know that, what their numbers are going to be.
Mhm.
Because unlike episode 8, which completely deviated from the formula and said we're going to take off right after episode 7, we're going to have some years in between.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that. So yeah, I would think she would have a bigger role. I could see that happening. Maybe
Or not. You never know.
What about Gary Fisher?
Yeah, Gary's going to be in there.
Hmm.
Gary will be in there.
One of the dogs. What if they take one of those dogs?
Well, if Rose is around, she'll probably free him and keep the slave child locked up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just a cool little thing to see. It's always nice to see the cast having positive experiences in this emotional film for sure. I'm just so happy it's JJ back. If I could, I love Ryan Johnson as a filmmaker. I think his whole filmography is pretty terrific. If I could have, I would have still had JJ direct all 3, just to make it feel like a more complete story. But nonetheless, I'm just so happy that JJ's back. I have such a strong feeling that this film is going to fill my heart, and it's just going to be magical and have that really, like that episode 7 feel, that adventurous feel, whimsical, all that kind of stuff. So yep, episode 9 coming in hot in a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in less than a year, 146 days to be exact, Star Wars Celebration comes in. I have the countdown on my phone. I check it every 3 hours about. Just to make sure nothing changes,
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure I'm on my toes. I'm like, oh, nope, still 146 days. 3 hours later, still 146 days.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
But definitely gonna get our first. I hope we get our first. I don't want a Super Bowl trailer. And here's why. Something changed in my mind. I was really thinking about this hard this past week. Like, are we gonna get our first Episode 9 trailer at Celebration? Because regardless, we're getting a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it the first or is it the second? Regardless, it'll be the first official. We'll get a teaser if anything.
Yeah.
But here's why I actually think we will get the teaser at Celebration. That's because Disney is loaded with things to promote before Episode 9. We have Captain Marvel, which that'll already be out, I think.
Yeah.
We have Avengers 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home, all coming out after Celebration, near after, soon after. So I don't think it would make any sense for them to promote this thing with 2 trailers before Avengers 4 even comes out. Because think about this. They give us a great trailer at Celebration. You can air that trailer before Avengers 4, before Spider-Man Homecoming, and that just ramps up. And then you can release your second trailer in the fall. So I think our first trailer definitely comes at Celebration. That gets me even more hyped. That brings my hype to about a 27 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Moderate. I was thinking in terms of, so you're saying official trailer. Like, we're getting a trailer.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like, you remember the first Force Awakens trailer that aired at the Super Bowl, where it's just the lightsaber floating in space? It's been an awakening.
I think so. It's been a while.
Yeah, it was terrific. Yeah. That was one of my favorite teaser trailers.
Yeah.
I think that is a true teaser.
Yeah.
Similar to what we got with Toy Story. Too often now we get teaser trailer, and it's like a full story trailer.
Yeah.
If we get one of those, I'll still be excited, but I want to see a full beefy trailer.
Now, I remember we were having this discussion about, watching trailers.
Yep.
Would you be able to?
Yes.
You'll be able to.
There's no holding back on a Star Wars first trailer. Are you kidding me?
Well, the first trailer, but then what about the ones
Every
after?
major trailer I will watch.
Oh, okay.
I won't watch TV spots.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because it is literally impossible for me to avoid a full trailer.
Yeah.
I will be. Not only is it impossible because we go to the theater so much and we're gonna see it, and I'm not gonna be able to resist. Also, because if I knew there was a Star Wars trailer out and I didn't see it, I think I would lose my mind.
Plus, it's like, social media.
I already sleep. I don't sleep enough as it is. If I had to go throughout my days knowing that there's a Star Wars trailer out there that I have not viewed, I wouldn't sleep at all. Has to be seen.
But yeah, I don't think, yeah. If we see a trailer, I don't know how you.
I will, I don't know. You better bring the smelling salts.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying, man. You better bring the smelling salts.
Oh, you're asking a brown man to travel in a plane to bring some.
Okay, look, we'll buy some when we're there. Okay?
Okay. Even then.
Look, we'll ask someone else.
Mm.
Either way, it might not be good for me.
Yeah.
I'm either going to pass out and cry.
Could you imagine, like, we're in the same room with all the actors, too.
Yeah.
And they're seeing first time seeing it as well.
Mm. It's going to be... I hope they give out tissues at the door. Because they're going to give us a poster for sure.
Yeah.
When you leave that hall. And I don't want to get any tears on it.
Oh, my gosh. This guy over here.
Wiping my... That's how it's going to be, man. They're going to be dripping. I'm going to be tilting my head down so they don't roll down my face. Just drip.
Oh, my gosh.
Drip. Like a sob. Like a really ugly sob, Like...
I'll make sure to capture all those moments.
Yeah, I hope not. I'm gonna go viral. In other news, Benioff and Weiss, the showrunners, creators of they didn't create Game of Thrones, but they're the showrunners and creative heads behind Game of Thrones. As we all know, they are doing a series of films, Star Wars films for Lucasfilm, and they have announced that they will officially begin production on the first. After Game of Thrones ends. Now, my question is that after Game of Thrones ends shooting and like post-production, or is it after it ends airing? I would assume that it's after they finish their work. Maybe they need a little break or something, but I doubt it because they've had this Game of Thrones stuff planned out for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really like doing any scrambling kind of work,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they're eager to get started on Star Wars.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
So that's kind of exciting. My question for you is, do you think that so they say a series of films, regardless of what it is, do you think the series is going to be connected? Like, will it be a trilogy? Which I think I've assumed for a long time. But I would say there's always a chance that they're just a series of anthology-type films, which I think is a poor decision. But my question for you is, do you think that it's going to be like a actual film series or various offshoots?
I'd go with the series.
For sure.
They seem, like with Game of Thrones, they got it all planned out. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would mostly go with that. I don't know what, like, did they say anything about, like, what era or anything?
No.
Nothing like that. So, yeah.
We would all assume it goes back in the day.
Yeah. But I would think, I think they do 3, like a trilogy.
The funny thing is, we all hope that it's going, like, thousands of years back to the beginning of, like, the Jedi and the Sith Empire and all that. You heard about just a quick tangent, the Game of Thrones, who's starring in the prequel series they announced.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Takes place 8,000 years before Game of Thrones. 8,000?
No, I don't know.
What are they going to do? We're building the wall.
The wall's the size. How did they build that thing anyways?
I don't know. Brick and mortar?
Probably.
Yeah, sticks, mud.
Because I know
Ice.
the seasons work weird there. When winter comes every.
Yeah. We're done with this. All right,
8,000
Game of Thrones, Game of Schmones. All right,
Wow.
we're back to Star Wars talk here. Yeah, I'm excited. I think they have a knack for storytelling. They definitely know how to give us fan service, which I like. I love the last season of Game of Thrones because I'm not a book reader, and it's very pleasing for me as a fan of the series alone.
Not a book reader, huh? Well,
I'm a book reader, just not. I'm not reading those things.
Put the right book in your hand.
Yeah, give me anything by Claudia Gray that has to do with Star Wars, and it'll be devoured. Last up on the list, we have Diego Luna as reprising his role as Cassian Andor in a live-action series for Disney Plus, the streaming service. I actually think this is a pretty smart move. I think that this is a character that definitely has a lot that can be fleshed out, especially with the little tidbits we get about him in the background of the movie, talking about he's been in this for so long, since he was a kid. Him being sort of an intelligence officer. There's a lot you can play with, and I think that scene in Rogue One where he kills his partner, that speaks to the character a lot, and how deep the character is, Yeah. And I think that Diego Luna is a terrific actor, and this really intrigues me. I'd love to see a lot of characters from the past pop up in this. If you've read the Claudia Gray books and different books, Aftermath, that like Wedge Antilles plays a pretty crucial role in recruiting people for the Resistance. Yeah. And for the Rebel Empire. Yeah. Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
And I would love it. It would be awesome, I think, if Wedge Antilles popped up in this. Maybe recruited Cassian Andor into the rebellion. I would love to see that.
Yeah, because I was thinking like this. So Rogue One, I forget. It takes place before. When does it take place in terms of the timeline?
It takes place at 0 BBY.
What does that mean? 0 BBY.
It's the year of the Battle of Yavin.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
True. But yeah, just to see what he's been doing and what he's been up to. His character, definitely was intriguing in Rogue One. So I would.
Yeah, it's like someone I wanted to see. I'll say I wanted to see more of almost everybody in Rogue One.
K2SO.
I saw enough of him. He had a story. I would be ecstatic if they announced a Baze and Chirrut show. I would be flipping out of my shoes, man. Chirrut! I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Yeah, I could see that.
It would be terrific. Get Donnie Yen. I would be so down, but I'm very down for this. I think that it'd be cool to see it lead up like this. It's a limited series, I'm sure. So like lead up to the beginning of Rogue One. That'd be really neat.
Yeah, get more backstories too.
Think about the Cassian Andor show as what Rogue One is for A New Hope.
Okay.
So it is for Rogue One what Rogue One is for A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Definitely would want to know more about the character and see what led him to become the person he is in that movie.
So let me ask you one more question before we wrap up today. If you were watching a fight between a Gungan and General Grievous, the Gungan has a stick. Who are you placing your bet on?
What kind of stick are we talking about here?
It's a pretty sturdy staff kind of stick.
Are we talking about one of those like shield things that they can pop
No.
up? Okay.
That's it. Think about it as compared to Rey's staff, but wood.
Uh-huh. And does Grievous have
Yes.
He has like his lightsaber collection with him?
But Jar Jar Binks is also in attendance.
Oh, okay. So
Not necessarily directly part of the fight, but he's there.
I seen the damage that he can do if you put him in a battlefield.
Yeah.
In Phantom Menace.
In the Clone Wars, a Gungan takes down General Grievous with a stick.
So I think you have your answer right there.
Yep. I'm betting on justice.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Justice always prevails. Sometimes. Yeah, but that's going to be episode 5 of the Fan Awakens podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to say that next week we'll be back with episode 6, I hope. I've been messing up the episodes all the time, so I'm going to say it here so that when I listen to it back, I will hopefully remember. But yeah, episode 5, thank you all for listening. May the Force be with you all. There's been an awakening, and we will see you next time.